Hello and welcome to the first ever West Potomac Wolverines podcast. Here on the podcast with me today is
Hope Kyoto,
Jesse Benitez,
and Daniela Weil,
Sophia John,
and Max Barrett. Why did you say "and" after you?
Because I'm also included in this, am I not?
All right. First topic on I guess tonight, since we're filming this tonight, is VHSL. So who wants to get the ball rolling on that?
Well, the VHSL thing started at what?
I think we got here at like 9:30 or something.
9, and everybody was late. Everybody got lost.
No.
Not
Everybody was late. Jesse was late showing up and meeting this morning.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, listen, Max. I've been late to school every single day that I can think of.
She's gotta keep up her rep, dude.
So you guys can't expect me to be early or to any kind of function.
Can we talk about the girl with the pink? Purple. It was like a lavender.
Are you talking about
purple.
Emily?
No, I'm not talking about Emily.
Excuse me.
No, there's this girl that walked in. And she had this like lavender purple, like definitely anime wig on.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Pigtails, and it was curled, and then she was just like wearing these like really long shorts and this like really ratty t-shirt. She just like walked in, and then like I never saw her walk out.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Daniela.
Honestly, I think the parking really could not. It was really out of their hands, though. Like there was a parking garage where most people were in.
There's multiple.
Multiple, yeah.
And
didn't tell us
just
that,
for
you know?
those who don't know, we're on the VCU campus.
Mantelli had to keep leaving like every 2 hours.
Yeah, they didn't want me, so I don't really want it. VCU is like an X to me. You know?
Oh, don't.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey,
I'm
good
going
X.
to VCU. That's my waifu.
Let's talk about the films real quick. What was your guys' favorite film that you saw today?
I really like The Control Room by West Potomac High School.
I really like the Volkswagen commercial.
That was very well
If he
done.
says this, what is your name? What's your number?
Honestly, the way he
He had an
said
accent too. He's European.
Volkswagen. Das Auto.
Volkswagen. Das Auto. He's the Das Auto guy.
Das Auto.
Go away!
How about we talk about basically what the VHS Film Festival is and how we got involved with
I
it?
agree.
And,
We were forced into this at gunpoint. No.
They literally held a gun to our head and were like, "You're
literally.
entering." Paperwork was a mess.
So you know, Mantelli, our TV production teacher, was gone for on sick leave. So we had Miss B and Mr. G.
The Gooch.
Oh yeah, right.
He's the person that owns the reflective car.
He's in the yearbook.
Yeah, he's in the yearbook
So
as the Gooch mobile.
Yeah, he's got a page in the
He's
yearbook.
on the last.
It's
One of the last
for
pages
that.
if you actually bought the yearbook.
He's been around the area. You know, you can't miss him.
I love that car. It's definitely broken somewhere.
Oh my god.
There's some belt or something that needs oil.
Didn't he
that
want to
hasn't
sell it
been-
to you for like $500?
He
But
wanted
then you
to-
had to like
he
make
wanted
all
to get
these
rid of it.
repairs.
I don't know. I don't go to his house. I don't.
Yeah, how are his cats?
So what was this during spring break? I watched Mr. Gooch's Cats, and I just want to say that Tiddlywinkles is a very very nice cat. I mean, honestly, that was one of my best friends over spring break.
Emily is currently on the floor right now, dying of laughter.
Yeah, but we're at a hotel right now. We're trying our hardest not to get kicked out because honestly,
To be quiet.
we got the biggest room.
First of all, Max, Jesse, and Sophia. They got the nicest room.
Oh no, I'm not in this room.
Max is in
You're
this
not in
room.
this. Who's else
We're
is in
divided
this
by
room?
sex, Danielle.
Jesse's in like one of the nicest rooms. So I'm on level 2, and it looks like someone could be possibly murdered in our room and hidden in the closet.
I didn't
Whereas
know.
no. In Jesse's room, there's a jacuzzi in the corner. There's two like almost Dutch doors opening up to a separate full-size bed. And it's like in my room, there's like 2 twin-size beds while there's like popcorn on the wall.
I get surprisingly lucky at times. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm on the same floor as you. I don't understand.
Here's the downside. You know, we were disappointed because there wasn't a pool.
Yeah.
You know, we have a jacuzzi
Yeah.
now, so I guess we can
Darn.
Is
do
that
it out
a
in there.
pool?
But
It's a Hope
let me let
pool.
you know one thing. This is probably the one. This is the one room that's probably had the most sex done in. Let's be real.
But no, that's probably done up for Mantelli's, let's be honest.
Oh,
that's weird to think about. Ew. I killed him.
Oh my god.
edit that out, please.
VHSL. So we got involved because we did. Should I talk about Tenda? We're not gonna get an award. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
we did the 10-day film challenge That's like a nationwide thing where we have 10 days to make a film and it gets entered in the film festival.
Yeah, and it has to be done all in only in school hours.
And on campus.
And on campus. Yeah.
They didn't think we were good enough for national, but we also.
I don't blame them.
We also VHSL. We also entered it in VHSL,
which we surprisingly got.
Honestly, it was a pain in the ass. They asked for a bunch of paperwork and stuff like that. But you know what? Was it worth it? You know, what are your thoughts on the festival?
We got really good food, so I don't mind.
Other than the 3 hours every time a new segment started where we had someone talk.
That was so insane.
Jeremy fell asleep. Jeremy actually fell asleep. I had to nudge him to wake him up so he wouldn't snore.
Oh my god.
But some of them were actually interesting.
Yes.
After Effects one was a little repetitive, but honestly,
No,
I learned a lot.
Out.
He did.
I thought the After Effects guy was interesting for the Photoshop aspect.
Yeah.
And then when he moved to After Effects, and I lost him completely.
I followed him for a bit because I was interested in the moving aspect and of course
he's like we're gonna.
But the worst part that made me really upset was when he was masking it, which outlining it. It was it wasn't even close to the original shape of the petal.
So, anyways, the Virginia High School League, aka VHSL Film Festival.
Are you gonna read off of the pamphlet?
Well,
right now?
I just want to say that it was June 2nd and June 3rd, and so. Like you guys said, before each screening, there was somebody that talked in the thing. And then, so there's also an audience choice voting. So how do you guys feel, what was your favorite film today, and how do you guys feel about the film festival in general?
So none of them really, amaze me. I think Life did. Mm-hmm. The animation, that was actually, a true animation. I know stop motion is, but, she actually drew hers and stuff, so I think that was probably my favorite one.
Danny, you had a problem with one of the animations.
Which one?
The one where it was the robot mask guy.
That triggered me.
Oh,
I'm not
dude,
gonna
that
lie.
wasn't animation.
That
was
not animation.
That was a filter. That was a filter.
I kept saying just
blue shirt animation.
Yeah.
Okay, computer and Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Oh,
music.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Kubrick. Just. Jesus.
The Kubrick guy was a different guy, wasn't he?
No, that was the same kid. I'm telling you,
so
the hat changes the entire look.
Can we tell the story, please?
Yeah, so basically what happened was he did sort of a stop motion, but it wasn't really stop motion, and it counted as animation. It's not even stop motion because it's not frame by frame.
So what exactly was it?
I have no clue.
I don't know.
What do we consider that? What is that category? Does that fall under?
Technically, it is animation, but it was at such a slow frame rate that it wasn't really the usual animation.
I remember when he said he was prepared for that question.
Right.
10 frames per second,
10 frames.
So we walk in for the second group after lunch or something, and he's sitting in the back, and Danielle is wearing her NSP t-shirt, and they're putting it out. I'm just oh Jesus, this is already gonna start trouble.
For those that don't know, NSP is a band. It's it's a comedy band called Ninja Sex Party that I really like listening to. But anyway,
are you seeing them?
That
you're seeing.
I'm seeing Tupperware Remix Party, which is also really good. They're it's alternative rock, I guess, if you want to call it techno rock.
They're that Daft Punk.
It's Daft Punk, but with more lyrics, I would say. I would definitely check it out.
I'll check them out.
So these kids, right, they see your shirt and they're freaking out, and I see them freaking out. I'm oh God, this is already gonna cause problems. Danny, please don't go to the back row. She goes to the back row, and I'm oh God, okay. And I go, and one of the kids,
which he's wearing, I think it was a Full Metal Alchemist.
I don't know what he was wearing.
It was not a jacket, but it was a jacket and a vest, had a baby. And that's what came out.
A sleeveless hoodie?
Yeah, it was a sleeveless hoodie.
Was that Fedora Kid?
Yeah,
that was
and
Fedora
he was
Kid.
also wearing this brown fedora that had a dark brown bow on it. And he was very skinny, lanky.
He looks exactly how you're imagining right now. Is basically. He leans over to Danny and he goes, "I like your T-shirt. I pointed it out first." What does that mean? Hello? You get internet points now.
So that's not the Kubrick OK Computer Kid.
No, this is a different kid. No, he's asking questions. He's sitting there with 3 of his friends, and he's oh man, what's the meaning of life?
that kid.
That's the question you asked. Like, if I was the
this
person,
is,
I'm
like,
just
on
like,
a-
well, you only get one question. That's it.
Just to be clear, this was he was asking a question to a panel of directors, so it also included the blue shirt guy.
Was it the documentary people?
It was
or
the
Well, the movie
documentary
was called
people.
Life.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, so
it was
the
during the
animation
animation one, and one of the girls had did an animation. It was like the major stages through life, such as like marriage and having a kid and getting old and blah blah blah. And so one of the kids was asking her a question, asking the animator the question. And Fedora kid's like, I'm gonna be hella funny with my neck beard and all.
No, he had one.
No,
he's good.
And he's like, what's the meaning of life? And she's like, I understand your reference to the Hitchhiker's Guide. He's like, just kidding. And then asks the question, and she didn't even get to answer him.
I feel like the animation screenings were probably the ones that I was looking forward to the most, in my opinion.
And
I just thought they were
down
so great.
much.
They were all really bad.
Horrible.
No.
Life of Ethel was kind of weird.
Dude, are you kidding me?
Oh, that
But
was
that's
so
the thing,
weird.
though. They were so... Like, I really loved Life, and it kind of reminded me of your
Yeah.
type of animation.
Yeah.
Danny.
Yeah.
Which, if you guys haven't seen it yet,
Oh,
go
God.
on YouTube and check out
25K.
Danny's animation.
Yeah.
It's got, over 25K views in, a
week.
Like less than a week.
A
yeah.
week?
Let's send you my name.
Tale of Ethel was weird. The
It
ending was weird.
I mean, I like the story
Yeah.
behind it. Like, it was nice. It was
Yeah.
sentimental,
Wait, what was the
but-
story again?
So the story was this girl, her grandma dies,
She's sick.
she's sick, and so she goes out to find this magical potion to try and basically help her grandma. And so she goes through these towns, and they're all supposed to represent the different stages of grief.
Mm-hmm.
And so when she gets there, she comes back and her grandma's dead. I think
After
the
us.
best part about that was it was just such a mix of different animation styles. It was claymation, stop motion. Well, I guess it is claymation.
Claymation. That was a different one. That was Flew the Coop.
That was probably one of my favorites in the animation
You were
category.
campaigning in the group chat.
They
for
didn't
it.
get top 3. I was really surprised.
I was
I was
surprised
too.
that they didn't make it.
They
I
definitely
remember,
won audience.
that one, the
I-
timing.
I liked all of the animation. I have to
I
say
didn't.
that the what was it, flew over the coop or
Flew-
something?
Yeah, that
Flew
was
the
like-
Coop.
Or
Flew
whatever.
the coop, and I remember the director mentioned something about being in New York, and they won an award there as well. And I'm surprised they didn't get anything here. Maybe they won audience.
I think
choice. We'll
that
find
was
out
for
tomorrow.
another film that they submitted.
The only problem with I feel the voting in the audience was that it was all from the school, so it was all the school groups choosing. So
Yeah.
whoever for us obviously we voted for ourselves and the other people voted for their groups, so there wasn't really anybody to vote for the unbiased.
That's
guess.
why I think
Yeah.
experimental was really that's definitely going to be one of the ones that are really polarized because we easily made up half of that room.
Yeah, honestly though, here's how I feel about the experimental category. I mean, looking back at our film, The Control Room, I realized that our film technically isn't experimental.
It's not.
It's because we do have structure in our story, and all these other films tell their story in an unconventional way.
Would we fall under narrative then?
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
what
like-
I
yeah.
thought. We would.
I disagree, and here's why. Mintelli was talking about this
All
when we
right.
were in the car ride up to the hotel. She said when she first saw our film, she didn't like it. She said that it just didn't have an ending. It's like a sentence without a period is how she described
Honestly,
it.
I agree.
And then she said there's something about watching it on the screen today that really made it click, and I think it's because it doesn't have that period, that's what makes it experimental.
I guess
I
so.
think
Yeah.
it's a lot like
guess so.
poetry for the film is experimental.
It's open-ended.
So I think we got asked that question why did that girl like the chips so much? And then you
I'm sorry, I'm not a
it's
good
up
speaker.
to
in front of-
interpretation.
Oh no, you're perfectly
Hey, come
fine.
on. That's what we have to say. That's the thing about the experimental categories that I kind of just don't relate
Yeah.
with. I mean, I enjoy watching experimental films and everything. It's just that there's so much ambiguity between the whole, everything has to have meaning, everything has to have symbolism,
Well,
every shot means something, every something this, that. And I just feel like with experimental, I mean, there is no rules.
So on that point, Jesse, on a
Why
scale,
which
on
is
a-
why I said it's up to interpretation, because I have to fit in with that experimental crowd.
Yeah.
on a on a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you want to curl up in a corner and cry?
And next, let me tell you, I really didn't like that question that I got asked on the panel, just because Here's how I feel about that. I mean, you know, when you get asked something like that, kids that say that they cried like 10 times during the entire filming process are kids that had assignments with deadlines and they just didn't know what to do. And I think that with filmmaking, I mean, there's always going to be struggles, but that's part of the process, and you have to roll with the punches. And I think, you know,
and like with us, we were fortunate enough that we actually really had fun doing this.
Yeah.
And like the lighting was fun, like just like every aspect of doing this, although it was 10 days and there was definitely pressure and there were times that we had major conflicts, we were able to finish it and we were all, I think, really proud of how it came out. So I don't think there were any times that we wanted to crawl up in the corner of the room and cry.
Sob our eyes out.
I think that's just the way, like, anything creative rolls. Like, there's a part of making creative things where it's like you will cry and you will like be stressed out the wazoo and want to like die.
Well, as long as you have a good support system, and I think that's what we had, because we all were supported, even though we fought each other. Like, we were screaming at one point, but at the end of the day, there were no hard feelings, and we were able to come up with a compromise.
And I feel like everyone in this group that, you know, that I worked with on Control Room, like, everyone had something to, like, offer at the table. Like, we have Daniela, who's, like, an artist, an animator. We have Emily, who, like, loves special effects. Hope, lighting, and sound, and everything. And it's just, like, all worked together.
And Max.
And then we have Max and Will.
And then we have Max and Will. I see.
No, they're really good with coming up with the story.
Yeah, and we were good with
actually, I think Sophia was the one that first threw out
came
the
up
story
with the idea. And I just feel like, I don't know, we all just kind of worked together, and it just kind of worked in the end.
Yeah.
I think, and especially had this feeling yesterday when we were talking about the podcast again, I think there's a lot of talent and a lot of creativity in the class, and I think doing stuff like the school film festival, not to like bash Mantelli or anything, but like doing stuff like where we're not working in one giant large group but in like small separate groups, I think a lot of that creativity gets lost. And so I think if we just worked as, because what we're doing is essentially working as one conglomerate, if we do that, I mean, yeah, there's gonna be fighting, but there's a lot of like everyone has specialized at this point. Even the level ones, like, they know what they're good at.
Yeah.
I feel like with larger groups, that like for the one that we had for the control room, we were able to bounce off a lot of ideas and a lot of creative ideas, and like fix loopholes and like plot holes, and discuss what we wanted to do and what our ideas were clearly to each other, and be able to kind of get an opinion from all different sides. Whereas with the smaller group, it's really hard to do that, because with, for example, if it's a person, like a 3-person group, like one person can be like, oh, I really like this idea, we should do it, and they'll be like, okay, and then just continue doing that one idea, and then it turns out like there's all these issues with it, or that someone's like, well, let's do this idea that they didn't mention but they secretly wanted to do.
So like in bigger groups, people are more open to opinions.
Yes,
Okay.
I would say.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like group think sort of thing where it's like everyone's going to be quiet and just sit there and like take in ideas, and then maybe that'll help build on one and then the other. I think Sophia, I think before you shouted out your idea for the 10-day, I was talking about bootstrap paradoxes, and that was originally going to be the idea for our 10-day, and then Sophia shouted out the idea that we ended up going with, and then it just worked out from there. So I think
I don't think we would have had time either. We barely had time to do the story that we had at hand, even with the planning, and but I mean, I think it turned out well in the long run in the way that we originally wanted it to.
Yeah, you know, no hard feelings. We didn't get nominated, or we didn't get chosen tonight. Maybe we might win Audience Choice tomorrow.
They hate us.
But there's still hope, guys.
I think there were a lot of good commercials when we were there. I think the commercials were really good, and then everything, like the animations were really, I think the animations were a letdown.
Yeah, they definitely were.
I don't know, I feel like I like the that's just my opinion. I feel like the animations were actually better than anything I saw. Like, just maybe because I really love stop motions, and I love watching animations and stuff. I mean, even though some of them weren't actually really stop motions, but I think that was pretty cool.
Empty faces.
Maybe I'm just like spoiled from watching Cartoon Network as a kid and like watching all those classic shows, but like nothing really resonated that well with me except Flew the Coop.
Out of the commercial PSA's screenings, which one was your favorite?
I think Das Auto. That was it made
Alexandru Simon.
Okay, well,
Simon,
Alexander Simon.
From which school?
He is from Princess Anne High School, Virginia Beach.
Okay, Volkswagen Boy. Can we talk about that commercial? Because like that,
it was a great commercial.
I thought I was watching like a monster.
I loved the lighting for that.
I thought
they had the glare on.
It came out to look sleek and like official, and he was also able to use drones, which we're not allowed to use. I don't think anybody has the money really to. But yeah, that was my favorite.
You know, another underrated commercial from today was the one that was the one with people tossing things in the between the frames.
I thought that was good, but then I saw Das Auto.
I thought that was good. The only problem that I had was the font. It made it look like
was it Comic Sans because I feel like it was a Comic Sans.
It looked like font. That said, that would be a commercial that went all the way to nationals for Skills USA. That would have won so many awards in Skills USA.
Yeah, just to make an entire film with Comic Sans font, just for the irony of it.
There's a song.
There's a new Comic Sans font. It's called Comic New, and it's the most professional joke font you'll ever see.
Really?
It's the greatest thing ever. It's free to download. Definitely, I highly recommend it. In my next essay, I have to write I'm writing Comic New.
You know, something about the film festival today, though. I didn't see any thanks for watching :
I did.
Or did you?
Tale of Ethel. Tale of Ethel.
A really weird one with the clay animation had thanks for watching at the end, and Mintelli absolutely hates it.
That one made it. That was in the top 3 for animation.
Yep.
So they're gonna show it again tomorrow. You're gonna see it.
Right.
It's gonna be the.
I will not miss it for the world.
It's just the end credits is like the last part to thanks.
You know, there was one film that said the end, and it's like we get it. We know it's the end. The screen goes to black. Wait, no, it's the end.
There was one film also where there was like this shot and it said enter text here. Was that supposed to be?
Yeah, I think that was.
Okay.
I feel like that was intentional, but it was funny, and I admired that.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of knew that it was intentional. But
when we did Ghost Speeders for a long time, instead of having the Ghost Speeders title, it was just going to be sample text on the thing.
Yeah.
just as a joke to be really bad editing.
I also think something that was underrated in Ghost Speeders was the Shutterstock photo.
Of the airplane liftoff.
So, if you guys haven't been to, or if you guys never went to the film festival this year, it was May 11th and 12th.
Yes.
And basically all the TV production students made films, and they were shown, and
dance was there, and I think theater was also there doing their thing.
The film festival was great. I mean, how would you guys compare the VHSL film festival to the to our school film festival? I get that ours is theater, dance, film, but you know,
this one is a lot more.
I would say more official.
It seems more official. Like it felt more like a movie theater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we also didn't have to drive an hour and a half away.
First off, I love the creative music and art scene. It's like that's a hub for all of that, which is really, really cool. But also, we had some good food options today. You want to talk about that, Max?
We had for lunch. We had some sick pizza. My group had
Christian's Pizza.
I will say
it wasn't Christian's Pizza.
What was it called?
Christian's trash.
Extreme Pizza. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, Extreme Pizzas. Yeah, that's what.
I'm not a regular Yelper, but I will say this: if I were to write a review for Extreme Pizza here at Richmond, I would put that the tunes are amazing. Tunes. Just come in, sit down for the tunes. Don't get the pizza, don't get the wings. Just come in for the tunes. I don't know whose Spotify playlist was playing, but that was, you know, I enjoyed that.
So important thing, Yelp reviewer in training. How many stars?
Out of 5.
Oh, man.
You have to separate it by the music and the
I can't.
Just get a number. There's only 5 possible answers.
No, you can do
6,
5.
because you can do 0. All right.
I can't just rate this, you know.
I'm
not one of those.
Okay, besides
so that's an official 1.
No, it was a great. I enjoyed the pizza. It reminded me like I was in Chuck E. Cheese all over again.
Pizza was good.
It did feel like Chuck E. Cheese. It was like adult Chuck E. Cheese that wasn't creepy.
No, adult Chuck E. Cheese.
Pedophiles.
No games, no kids. There was also one guy that took you know, we were the largest group in there at that time.
We were the only group in there.
For a good
hour.
hour.
There was one man who took the largest table possible in the back and just sat there.
By himself.
Meanwhile, we were trying to struggle to fit all into one.
Oh yeah, because they were at circle
table.
tables, so you can't move 2 tables that are a circle and like expect them to fit
Make
together.
a bigger circle.
Yeah, it's like oh wow, like a bigger circle. Wow,
It's like,
expect that
it's
one.
like a Gario. Wow.
So then for dinner.
For dinner we did a hibachi place, and I thought it was
that's
going to be
great.
one of the ones where they cooked on the table. I was
It was
thoroughly
not.
disappointed because it wasn't.
That's more of a Japanese steakhouse kind of thing.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a Japanese
Isn't-
steakhouse.
What, isn't hibachi the same thing?
No. Come on,
I'm
Max, you
racist.
uncultured swine.
I'm racist. Hey, I'm white.
I really enjoyed that place, except when Hope freaked me out and told me there was probably peanuts in the ginger dip sauce.
They do that. It's like
Were you
ginger
allergic?
with peanut butter.
Technically,
A little bit of
yeah.
peanut butter.
Will I be
and
okay
then
by
they mix
tomorrow?
it up. That's how they make it.
Also,
That's the
also in
ingredients.
teriyaki. Teriyaki also.
They had something called Yum Yum sauce, which I love the name, so that's the only reason why I got it. I didn't know what it was gonna taste
I
like.
got it, but
I
I
got
ended
it
up
by-
giving it to Emily.
I got it, but I completely forgot about it and didn't. I don't think
Dude,
I tried it.
Emily made bank. She walked out there with like
Oh,
4
yeah,
salads.
4 salads. So with the
No one wanted it.
with each entree, you get like a free
Yeah, that
tiny
was good.
salad
Do you need
and like
something?
this little plastic bin, and so with it, like Will refuses to eat anything that's green and healthy.
It's true
so
if he doesn't.
anyway, so
Guys, you
he
can
gave
get
it
lost
to
in the
him, and
stars.
then Jeremy didn't want his, and then Max
Weird.
didn't want his, and like everybody didn't want theirs. So she had this humongous stack of just salad upon salad.
Well, she's also
that lasted for-
pescatarian.
That is no.
No,
Well,
she's
'cause
pescatarian
it's not-
she got shrimp.
Yeah, not out of choice though.
Oh yeah, no, not out of choice. No.
Yeah, because she's allergic.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, no, she is.
You know, the whole time I was also thinking about you, Max. You know, I know you're allergic
Thinking
to.
about me.
Oh, you're allergic to shellfish, and I didn't
That-
want you to like just you know.
That was the first thing I asked. I was like, so I'm allergic to
wasn't.
seafood. What are the
Well, 'cause-
options? And he's like, okay, so there is always a risk of cross-contamination, but we cook our fish and our meat on 2 separate things, so you're good. I'm like, thank
well,
Christ.
that's what they want you to.
That's what they want me to
They're trying
think.
to bring comfort into your
I mean,
life
it
so
worked.
you can enjoy your hibachi.
It's been like, what, 6 hours and I haven't died yet, so...
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I haven't felt my throat closed up from the ginger peanut dip yet, so I think I should be fine for the night. But
We'll
you know,
find out
Hope-
tomorrow
well,
morning. If you're
Hope
not
will
moving,
be my,
then we'll
Hope
send
will be
for
my
911.
carer. She'll be watching
Yeah.
over me.
So now that they're talking about hibachi, at least my table brought up a good topic that I wanted to save for the
What?
podcast. Old TV shows that you watched as a kid.
Oh,
What were your
man.
favorites?
Mr. Rogers.
Yes! Oh my god, I love Mr.
I never
Rogers.
watched that because I didn't have cable as a kid.
Okay,
What?
he's.
I know, it was really
I
sad.
think
I did watch some shows though.
I
Not
think
gonna-
he's on Netflix. You don't have Netflix.
I don't. Well, yes, I do. Yes, I
You
do.
do
For
have
like
Netflix.
a month, and then I had
Okay.
to create a new email.
Backyards again. Miss Sunny's Spider Patch.
Oh, I
I know
love
what
that
you're talking
show.
I
about.
watched Grey's Anatomy start in 2007. I didn't truly understand it until
You're 7
now.
years old watching Grey's Anatomy.
I was. I watched some telenovelas or something.
What's wrong? Your mom would you watch?
See, I was interested. This was into it just because it was so interesting. I was like, what are they doing? What are they saying? And, you know,
It was
You know
softcore.
Wait,
It
talking about secrets as kids, do you know how hard it is for a Jew during Christmas time not to tell you guys, like, that Santa
There's no
isn't
such thing as
real?
Santa?
Yeah.
I stopped believing in
You were
Santa the last
homeschooled till
time.
like 6th grade.
Yeah, but there's still Christmas time everywhere, child.
Who are you gonna
I'm not
tell? You
saying-
didn't have
come on.
friends until freshman year.
There's a war on Christmas.
Like, you
Max.
did-
There is a war on Christmas. You
mean,
want
have
You guys remember that thing on Starbucks with the whole red
Now
box?
I'm starting.
I mean, have you seen
Now
it?
started.
It's just become a commercialized holiday. As
Religion
with
is a
any
lie.
other
Taxation is theft. The government's poisoning us.
With Pepsi.
With Pepsi.
Well, Max is drinking a Pepsi. Pepsi
Dude,
commercials.
Don't even. War on Christmas isn't real.
Oh my gosh.
Turn them putting chemicals on the water and turn the freaking frogs gay.
Anyways, I just I want to make
Alex
a
Jones.
disclaimer. I want to make a disclaimer on the
Trigger
podcast.
warning. Trigger.
For any one of our listeners right now, I just want to say that we're not the voice of West Potomac.
We're
Oh
the
my
fart.
We're probably the fart of West Potomac, and I think that's something to admire.
We're like that birthmark that you don't really know how it got there. It just formed one day and you just learned to accept
That's skin cancer.
That's skin cancer?
You just have a random.
Are you calling out
Did I
babies
stutter?
that get born
Did
for
I
having
stutter?
skin cancer right now?
Or it's just a birthmark that appeared one day out of the blue.
Still get checked.
You're a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah. I did want to talk about the time that I almost died.
What? Tell us about
I've
that.
almost died before too.
Yeah, same
I think
here.
we all almost died.
All right,
I mean,
we'll go around. We'll go around.
Yeah.
Okay.
This story has been circulating around lately, and so as you guys know, I go to a lot of shows, and I have a good time.
Have like a really bad.
I think you told me the story.
Yeah, I have a great time. Okay, I waste my money. I have fun. Whatever. I'm not gonna get into the details of what I do there, but anyways, once I got there, I was seeing Mac DeMarco with a friend. And if you've ever listened to Mac DeMarco, he's the kind of guy, like, the music is so chill, it's just not like, you wouldn't expect a crazy show. I wore sandals, okay? That's how chill I thought it would be. And so what actually happened was, near the end of the show, they started like playing punk riffs and stuff and going all crazy. And Mac DeMarco got on top of the balcony. This was at the 930 Club. So if any of you guys have ever been to the 930 Club, you know that there's like an upstairs and whatnot. And so Mac DeMarco got on top of the balcony, threw himself from the balcony into the crowd. And I mean, of course I was right there. I was like second row. And he just landed right on top.
Oh my god!
Right on top of all the weaklings. I mean, I've just seen my arms. I have no upper body strength whatsoever.
Jesse moved out of the way and let him die.
There's just some guy on top of bodies, and we're all getting crushed.
Isn't that usually how crowd surfing works?
But the thing is, I've been to shows like that, and these kids didn't have etiquette. I don't think they've been to like garage shows.
What's the etiquette?
Because like, when you see someone on the floor being trampled, the first thing your immediate response should be to help them up. And these people weren't helping them up. No. So, and I've explained this before.
That's just common sense right there.
I mean, if you've ever been at the beach and get knocked over by a hard wave, that's what it felt like, except with a bunch of bodies crushing your body.
So that leads into my near-death story. I was at the beach, and you know how they have like boogie boards
you told me this.
and things. Yeah, I told you like everything.
Yeah.
There's one that you're like you're supposed to like put on your foot or anything, but like I'm stupid and like 13.
Yeah, we know. Get to the story.
I'm still a child. I mean, have you seen? I eat Lunchables.
Okay. I'm 18, 12 by the way, and so I put it around my wrist. I'm just like, yeah, this will help me not lose it, because the place we're renting from, you lose the boogie board, you have to pay like $30. I'm not about to pay $30 for a stupid boogie board. So I go to the wave, and I'm like, oh, there's this big one. I'm gonna do like this boogie board like surfing thing, not like get on top of it, but like put my chest and stuff on it and just let it ride. And I fell off because it was like bigger than I anticipated, and it crashed right before I could like actually like get ready. What happened was the boogie board wrapped around my neck and started like choking me out. And I'm like, oh no, this is really bad, but that's okay because I can I'm in the shallows. And then like I like get up and like start to fiddle with it. Another big wave comes over, pushes the boogie board and tightens it around my neck. I'm just like, I'm actually gonna die here. And like I'm struggling to like get it off while the water's settling, and then another big wave comes, and like it happened like 3 times, and I finally got out and like pulled it off and like breathing. You guys know Sean Brownlee in the yearbook. I walked up to him and he's like, I must have looked pissed off. He's like, what's up? And I'm like, I'm going back to the house. I'm watching Cartoon Network. Shut up, no one bother me.
I just want to say, Max, there's just so many dumb ways to die, and your story is just one of them.
I mean, I've had a near-death experience with water. So maybe I think it was like 5 years old. It was my parents, they took our family to Disney. Mm-hmm. And we stayed at this
World or Land?
I think we went to World.
Okay.
Yeah. And we stayed at this really nice hotel. Like, I remember this like it was yesterday. And, we went to the pool the next day, had a jacuzzi, and had, like, a really nice pool. And I hate the jacuzzi. I don't like the way it feels. I think it gets too hot. And, like, we're in freaking Orlando. Like, why are
there's, like, flakes of people's skin in there. Yeah.
That is an infection waiting to happen.
Like, two of my sisters and my brother, they're both in the jacuzzi. I'm like, I don't want to go in there. It's chlorine and it's hot. So I decided to go in the pool by myself. Like, I'm really attracted to the pool.
Where it's so chlorine, calm. But cold.
Yeah, the pool, yeah.
Cold chlorine. That's a great band name.
And it's so nice. And I know at this age I cannot swim. Mm-hmm. Like, I cannot swim at all. And I always just stay really close to the edge. And for some reason, I don't know why, I decided to jump in. Mm-hmm. And I think I jumped in about 5 feet. All I remember is going down, and I could not breathe. I kept coming back up. I swear I was screaming for my sister, and no one came for me. And I think, okay, I believe in God, I do. And I'm like from blacking out, and then like I feel the wall. And then I get up, and like I cannot breathe. I'm literally like on the floor, like gasping for air. My sisters and my brother, like just all in the jacuzzi. I'm like literally go up to them, like, where the you guys at?
You almost died.
Like I was like 5 years old. I'm over here mad that no one came to help me.
Wait, but what did you do?
I blacked out, and I remember just come back like I cannot swim. I was like doggy paddling trying to stay up, and I kept going under.
Like I've jumped into a pool before, and I was like, oh shit.
I know. And so like my legs kept kicking. My initial was like just keep my
I'm assuming you passed out.
I felt like I blacked out for a second.
That was God saying, I'm gonna teach you a lesson today.
I remember I was
You're
so
gonna learn
scared.
today.
And it was a really big pool, and I was the only one in there. I was so scared.
You know what it was? It was probably like the 15 minutes that lifeguards allocate to look for dead bodies in the pool, and they just saw yours at the bottom, and they're just like, another one.
Have you ever heard the story about the little baby who was found at the pool? Like a very populated pool.
Am I gonna cry?
They didn't find him until for like a week, and they're like, oh my god, there's a baby under there. Like, how the hell? You got people going to the pool like every day. No one found that kid.
That's sad.
Okay, my turn. That actually is related to my near-death
experience.
Yeah. So as a kid, I was born on time and everything. I got this like disease, which is like really rare, and I of course like got the worst of it, which is like you can almost die from it. It's called RSV, like respiratory something virus. I don't remember what it is, but I had to stay in the hospital after for I think what was it? It was like almost a month or so, maybe like a couple weeks or so, and they had to put me in like I don't want to say oxygen tent. That's what it's called, not incubator. And like my parents would take shifts, like going back and forth. And because I was such like a small child, what they needed to do was they put the heart monitor, like the little clip that they have, on my toe. And in the middle of the night when my dad was asleep, I would like kick it off so the monitor would flatline and like freak him out so badly. And so he would come back and I'd just be like laughing and having a good time in the tent. And then he would have to like call the nurse. It kept like happening in the night and just like keep doing
troublesome since birth.
I am.
At some point they just pull a night at the museum and just put a guard with you the whole time. And it's like, this tablet is going to keep her from waking up. Keep it in the museum.
There were guards.
Keep it in the tent.
There were guards because of my dad's job. I used to live on the border in Mexico. Yeah. Like 11 blocks away from the border. Yeah, they were like, they found a tunnel like 2 blocks away from my house. From like Mexico to America.
So, okay, to bring it sort of full circle now, back to VHSL, now that, for whatever reason you're talking about U.S. and Mexico, made me think of politics. That one lady at the drones presentation, she goes, so what are you doing, so these guys...
For the political activists and lobbyists in the room...
It's like, this is a room full of students and kids. Like,
the youngest one, I think, is 14.
No one in this 14. Room has done anything more than vote for anyone.
I mean, like 2 people.
I get that there's a lot of controversy, using drones and stuff just because the military and then people want to use them for recreational. Yes. But, I mean...
Look at Syria.
I don't know. We were just... The guys presenting the drones were just really cool and just laid back and... I don't know, they were more advocating. I don't feel like they were advocating for less regulations. They definitely stressed how like important safety with drones was
during the filmmaking process. The one guy said that there was definitely enough regulations.
Yeah, like, there were.
Like he said, and I totally agree. Like if there's less regulations, it's gonna get to the point where it's super unsafe, like it was when drones first came out. Thank God they were too expensive, and I think in the future there's definitely going to be people that are like, well, hey, I'm just going to go fly this on a runway and get it stuck in an airliner and blow out the engine. Like, there's going to be people that do that. And so I think they're definitely right. I couldn't get a beat on what she was trying to say.
I wasn't sure if she was against or for more regulations for drone use, but I mean, I guess it raised an important topic to discuss. Yeah. I mean, how do you guys feel on the subject?
I mean,
I like drones.
I'm indifferent.
Cool. I feel like I just don't know enough about it to even really.
I agree.
I think it's great now since there's so many there's so much regulations. Like if there's someone flying a drone, they know what they're doing.
I just feel like everyone that does fly a drone, especially for like a hobbyists that do it, I just feel like they really should follow the rules because, I mean, the more people keep screwing up, the more regulations are going to make. You know, the stricter it's going to be. So, I don't know. It's kind of a downer for anyone who wants to use film drones in their next films.
I think a solid 90% of people flying drones know what they're doing. And, like, they're not going to, like... When drones first came out, there was always that one dude in the news that just had too much money, blew it all on a drone, and like caused some problems. Like the story they were telling us, some dude flew it in a national park, caused a stampede, and like people got injured. Yeah. It's like those people happen, but now there's regulations. Yeah. So
exactly. Let's talk a little about the future of this podcast.
I think at least starting Monday, we're going to try to do them daily because 4 hours in a TV production room doesn't really give us much to do, does it? We're going to have a couple guests. We're going to have Jackson Harvey for sure on Monday.
And Jackson Kosmacki.
On Monday? That's for sure.
Double Jackson.
So, Jackson Kosmacki is a West Po grad, class of 2016. And Jackson Harvey is, I think, Hayfield class of 2016, but he did the TV production program, so we're gonna
an academy class.
We're gonna have them come on, ask them what their life was like in college, talk about more stuff, talk about any insane stories and stuff.
Yeah, whoever's on YouTube listening to this, feel free to comment if you have any topics you want. We have a free day open so far, so if you guys have anything interesting that you want us to talk about, feel free to comment and we'll look at it and see if we can use it.
So yeah, good stuff to come. We do have a couple games planned coming up. We're gonna play $1 Million Butt at some point.
We have more guests coming, but
we'll have some teachers, some students.
We're gonna have a plug-in day for
local
artists. Not just art, like traditional art, but like books, video games, clothing, music, and everything like that.
So all that kind of stuff. So I guess that'll do it for this podcast.
Thank you for listening to West Potomac Wolverine Podcast, and hopefully we'll see you next time.